Hi, welcome to today's video where I am going to show you guys my full collection. Let's get started. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Heather Eaglen. I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands, which I do believe you're going to see here today. If that sounds like fun to you guys, then I do hope you subscribe and don't forget to click the little bell for notifications of all my future uploads. Okay, this is pretty much just going to be a collection video, although I may do a little decluttering as I go, but that's not the purpose of this video. I just want to show everyone my collection, and I love watching collection videos, especially eyeshadow palettes. But first, I think I'm going to start with my base products. Okay, as for setting sprays, I only have 3 because I'm really just getting into them, so I don't have a whole lot of them in my collection. I have this Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. I've not used it as a primer, but I really do love it as a setting spray. And I got this at TJ Maxx for more than half the price. This is the one that's been in my collection for a little while, and I'm really just starting to get use out of it. This is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. It's a long-lasting makeup setting spray. The bottle is gross because it's like a matte packaging, so it gets foundation and stuff all over it. And I hate that, but maybe I should just stop being lazy and wipe it off when I'm done. But this really is a great setting spray, and I highly recommend it. This one is by Maven Beauty Rose Water Setting Spray. I don't ever use this. I have used it. There's probably a little less than half left. I don't like the fake scent of rose. I can't, no. Rose is not my vibe. So I probably am going to declutter this, and I'm not going to throw it away. I'll probably give it to somebody close to me, one of my friends or family. So this one's going to go. Next, we have face primers. This is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I think this sucks. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's not my vibe. I've had it in my collection for quite some time, and this is very old, so I'm going to actually trash this one. Okay, next we actually have 3 that I got from my BoxyCharm. This one is the Mud Mask Glam Care. It's supposed to be blurring, correcting, anti-aging, hydrating, and unifying, whatever that means. It's okay. I'm still trying to get a feel for it. It's not really my favorite type of primer, but I mean, it's all right. Next is the Dr. Brandt Backlight Primer. It's supposed to prime, blur, and glow. And these are kind of like the same formulas. Not exactly the same, but they're the same type of primer, which is not my favorite. And the same with this by Terry Hyaluronic Acid. I do like to have a few primers in rotation, so I'm going to hold on to these just to try with different foundations and stuff, because as most of us know, foundations, sometimes they work better with different types of primers, so that's why I'm keeping the 3 of those in my collection. I also have this Believe Beauty Pretty and Primed Hydrating Primer. This is nice. I actually like this, and it makes your skin look really hydrated and pretty, but usually I mix one of these. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip 4% niacinamide. I absolutely love this. It just makes your foundation stick to it so well and gives you kind of like a glowy look under your foundation. This is the Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer by Ciate London, and I love this one. As you can tell, she's almost used up. And I usually use those in combination with this one. I absolutely love this. It's almost empty, and I will definitely be repurchasing it. I love mixing this with one of the gripping primers because I like a gripping primer, but I also like a glowy hydration primer mixed. And I think that's why I don't really vibe with these, because these are more like mattifying. So these are my current favorites. These are my current favorites. I really love them. And I'm curious if you like the same types of primers that I like. Which are your favorites? Because I'm always down to try something new. Okay, next we have, I think this is all of my concealers and eyeshadow primers. I like this eyeshadow primer. This is the Sigma eyeshadow base primer, and I have it in the shade Ignite. This is the lightest shade they sell, and unfortunately, it's way too dark for me unless I have self-tanner on, so I don't get a whole lot of use out of it. I really wish they would make a lighter shade of this. Let me show you. Like, it's very yellow. So because of that, unless you know that this shade's going to work for you, if you're like very light skin tone like I am, then it's definitely not. So in that case, I do not recommend it. I also have this Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Primer. I have it in the shade 1. These last me a pretty good amount of time, and I really do love this, and it is very inexpensive, and I highly recommend it. This is the Milk Makeup Future Fluid Concealer, and I have it in the shade 3N. This is okay. This is medium coverage. It looks very hydrating. It's pretty, but your girl's got dark bags under her eyes, so this doesn't cover enough. What I use this for is more like if I'm just running out, but I want to do a little concealing around my face, it blends out very well. But if you're looking for something that's more high coverage, this is not it. On the other side of things, this is my favorite concealer. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, and I have it in the shade 1.3G Marshmallow. This is very high coverage, blends out beautifully, and it really helps me conceal my dark circles in my eye bag. So I love this one. This is the REM Beauty. It is, I don't know the name of the concealer, but it's like a pot concealer. I have used a pretty good lot of this. As for the under eyes, I don't like it. It's very thick. It is full coverage, but like I said, it's very thick. And if you have any kind of texture or fine lines under your eyes, which I do, this is going to show them. So I use this when I have like blemishes, or I have a few spots that I like to cover up when I'm doing my makeup. So I use this as a face concealer. Plus I have like these red spots on my neck and chest, and I think they're from like high blood pressure or something. So I use that a lot to cover those. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. This one is in the shade 16N Fair Neutral Light. This is almost used completely up. I have to actually like use a different brush to scrape it out of the bottom. And then I also have it in 22N. This is my self-tanner shade, or it's the shade that I will use to conceal things on my face. These suckers are like so full coverage, and it's a lot of people, there's a love for these. Either you love them or you hate them. They are very full coverage, kind of thick, and if you're not careful and just put on the smallest amount, they will look cakey. But if you use them in very small amounts and not put too much directly underneath your eye, they do look great, and I love them. This is the KVD Good Apple Concealer. This one's pretty good. This is like a medium full coverage, but I love the doe foot on it. Let's see if I can. It's like slanted. I think that's kind of fun. This one is okay though. I use this mostly as a face concealer because, like I said, I really need that full coverage effect. And this is the Dominique Cosmetics. This is Cafe Con Leche. And I like this one. It's more of a medium coverage. So usually I'll use this on like makeup days or on my face. And I really like the metal applicator. It feels so cooling when you put it under your eyes, but I will say it's kind of hard to get it out. And last in the concealing department, I have this Sigma color correcting duo, and I know a lot of people really love this. And to be honest, it's so emollient and it moves around a lot. It's it's okay. I wouldn't repurchase it personally. Next, we have face powders. This one I've had for a very long time. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. The packaging is okay. It's about a little under halfway full. I like this for the face. It is kind of good for brightening under the eye, but it is a heavier powder, so it kind of, I don't like it under the eye, but it's great for the face. This is the Bobbi Brown Sheer Finish Pressed Powder in Pale Yellow. I really love this. And I got this at TJ Maxx, and I've already put a significant dent in it. And it is relatively new to me. And I really love this. It's great for under the eyes. It kind of brightens it up. It's like that perfect pale yellow shade. And I enjoy using it. This is the e.l.f. Cosmetics powder foundation, and I have it in the shade Camo. I've used it. I use it on my, like, to cover blemishes as like a layering thing with my foundation and concealer, but I hate it all over the face. I don't know why I bought this because I really think I might actually hate powder foundations. This is my Dominique Cosmetics. It's the translucent setting powder, and I love this. This is very finely milled. I don't like how the packaging, I wish there was something to close it because you do waste a lot, but it's very finely milled and works beautifully under the eyes, and I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites, actually, my loose ones that I have now. Okay, this is my Fenty Beauty translucent setting powder, and I have it in the shade Lavender. This is the Pro Filter. I freaking love this. I already took the sifter out of it because that's all I have left. It is so brightening under the eye. It has like a slight lavender tint that you can't like see on the face, but it brightens and it's finely milled. And I do want to kind of explore new options because I'm trying to find the best setting powder for under your eye that doesn't make it look textured or cakey. So I'm not going to repurchase it because of that, but I probably will eventually because I really love this. This is the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil Powder. I've had this in my collection for a while, and to be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't think I've really given this a fair shot. I mean, it looks nice and thin, and it feels very light, and it's kind of got like a pink tint to it, which is probably why I haven't used it because I'm very fair skin toned, and I won't be able to use this under my eye. And I kind of don't understand. I thought translucent powders were translucent. This is like flesh toned, so I'll have to try it out for my face. But as for everything else, it's a no. I bought this because I needed it really. I needed some powder and I ran in the store and just grabbed something. This is terrible. I hate it. I don't know how they still sell it. I mean, I know everyone's different and maybe there are some people that love it, but it's not me. I don't like this and I am going to declutter it. This is my Dior Powder No Powder. It's almost gone. I've hit, well, it's not almost gone, but I've hit pan on it. I got a pretty big pan and I could see like the waffling in the bottom of the packaging. I love this. I have it in the shade 2N Neutral. I bought it because of Samantha March, and this is the second one that I've purchased. I forgot this in the concealer thing. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Color Correcting Concealer. It's okay. Like, it works, and it's drugstore price, which is nice, but it's not like the best one I've ever used. I really want to try that Huda Beauty Full Filter, the new color corrector. If you've tried it, please let me know your thoughts on it down below. This is the Beauty Bakery Flower Setting Powder, Better Not Bitter. Outside of Fenty Beauty, this is my current favorite under eye powder. I really enjoy it. and I highly recommend it. It's very thin, like finely milled powder, and it's the perfect shade, and I love the way it looks under my eyes, and it does great setting. Okay, so this is the Sephora translucent setting powder. I bought this. I went into Sephora and I asked them for a recommendation for a powder, and I was looking for something else, and I asked them what kind, and she told me this one. And I felt in my gut that I shouldn't have bought it, and I wanted to try something else. And I didn't listen to my instincts, and I should have, because I don't like this powder. So, I mean, it is what it is. I should have, I don't know why I bought it. That was just kind of really dumb. Okay, next we have my foundations. Since this release, this is the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop foundation. This was my favorite foundation for so long, and it still is one of my favorites. I have it in shade 6, and I also have it in shade 12 for my self-tan shades. I've purchased 4 of these in shade 6 already. I freaking love this. This is so lightweight, and it looks so hydrating and pretty, but it also sets down. It doesn't break apart. Like, it is one of the best foundations in my collection. And this is a blurring skin tint. And if you haven't checked this out yet, God, I highly recommend it. Another favorite is the Haus Labs Triclone Foundation. I haven't used this in a few weeks because I've been kind of stuck on another one. So it needs shaken up because it's kind of separating. But this is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. And I have it in the shade 070 Fair Neutral. This is a really beautiful lightweight foundation, but it has really good coverage. It's like a medium full. This one is more of a medium coverage. I have a lot of spots that I like to cover, but I still love that. And I'll just go in with concealer and then put this on, and it's just beautiful. And this one is the same. I get a really good wear time on this, and I love the way it looks. It's very hydrating and beautiful. Okay, let's see. This right now is my current favorite. I got this at Ross, and I freaking love this foundation. And when I run out of this, I would probably repurchase and pay full price if I had to. This is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear foundation. It has up to 24 hours color wear. It has SPF 15. It's transfer resistant. This gives you the most beautiful, perfect, radiant glow, but it also doesn't move around or nothing like that. I have it in the shade 215 Buff N. I get good coverage on this, but it also has that very natural, radiant finish, and I just freaking love it. It's so awesome. This is the ABH Luminous Foundation. It kind of reminds me of the Haus Labs, but I do like the Haus Labs better. I have it in the shade 130N. I haven't gotten enough use out of it. I've used it probably 3 or 4 times, but if my memory serves me correctly, then I do think I liked it. Okay, this is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. You can see there's a theme here. I'm really into the natural radiant foundations right now. I have it in the shade Vienna. This isn't my favorite. As a standalone product, I don't like it. This is the Mishi BB Cream. I have it in shade number 21. The shade range on this absolutely sucks, and that's sad, but if you can find your shade in it, this is a very good product. It's very light and glowy, and it just looks very beautiful on the skin. It says it is a perfect cover BB cream. It pairs well with makeup and skincare with a BB cream that helps brighten skin tone, care wrinkles, prevent signs of aging, and heals blemishes while providing excellent coverage. I didn't know that. That's good to know because I'll start using this when I'm having my breakouts, which has been a lot lately. I had this in the full size, and then I got this sample from BoxyCharm, I believe. This is the Pearlie's Radiant Glow Illuminating BB Cream with the SPF of 30. I do want to repurchase this because I really do love it, and this is almost out. I'm like saving that last one-time use, which is so stupid. Okay, this is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator with hyaluronic acid and squalene. This is a lightweight, non-greasy finish, sheer to medium coverage. That's a tongue twister. This is beautiful. This has really, really good coverage, and it still looks so hydrating and skin-like. And it's insane that this is like $5, but it's definitely worth the price. I use this. Someone gave me this. This is Mary Kay Time Wise. And I use this for like spot correcting, but that's it. It actually sucks. Like it's a matte foundation and I don't like matte, so I'm going to declutter this. Next, I have this little sample of the Studio Fix from MAC, and I've only used it once, and I want to reuse it again, but it's very, very beautiful. I may have one use left out of it, but this is my self-tan shade, so that's why I haven't used it up yet. And here's the drawer. Now that I've shown everything, I really need like a better system for these powders, but for now it works just fine. Now we're going to quickly go through my brow products and some other little things that are in here, and I'll show you my favorites. My absolute favorite brow pencil is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I have it in shade 5, which is dark brown, I believe. And I also have it in shade 3. I have it in 2 shades because when my hair was lighter, I used shade 3 and now I use shade 5. But I still like to use both of them because it kind of gives the effect, like makes the brows look more 3D, which I kind of think is really cool. And coming in second is the NYX brow pencil. This is the micro brow, and I have it in shade taupe from when my hair was lighter, but I really do love this one. It's a close second, but I can't imagine Benefit not always being first. This is just my brow brush. I'm just going to set that over here. I also have it in shade 2. This is a Point Perk from Ulta, and I used that when my hair was lighter, and it's still here because I never know what I'm going to do with my hair next. This is the e.l.f. Precisely My Brow Pencil. It's okay, and especially for the price, it definitely gets the job done, but it's not my favorite formula, but it does work, so. And then I also have the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. I feel the same way about this one. Like, it's not my favorite, but it works. And I just got this one in a BoxyCharm, and I'm really enjoying this one as well. This is the Rowan Vow Brow, and I have it in the shade medium. This is a pretty good pencil. I like the formula. And this is one of I always use these in combo. This is my NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen, and then I have it in the shade Ash Brown because it's kind of dark, but it's like a little felt tip pen, and it draws like the perfect tiny little hairs. It just depends on like the amount of pressure you use because you could get it dark and big, but if you just do tiny little strokes, it really like helps fill in the brows really fast, and I love this. I bought this on recommendation from Angelica Nikovist, and I love it. I also have the e.l.f. Brow Lift, and I will say this works pretty good. It is a dupe of the ABH Brow Freeze. This one is a fraction better, like just a little bit better, has a better hold, but this one I think is around $20, $30, and this one's around like 10. So, I mean, for the price difference, I honestly would probably go with this one. As you can see, it's like almost used up. But I do like the ABH one just a little bit more. This is the Got to Be Glued Brow Gel. I like mixing these two. Mixed together, these work great. And it's got like a little short-sided bristles on this end. I don't know if you can see there. And then the other side has like the more fluffy bristles. The only thing I don't like about this is it picks up too much product. So I always have to like wipe it off before I use it, because if you move the product around after it's dried, it will make it look white. I've seen other content creators say that this is great for using for flyaways for your hair. And I just want to say, if your hair is dark, that is not true, because it leaves like that white crusty stuff all over your hair. Literally looks like you put glue in your hair. So I really don't recommend that. And these are the Kiss Lash Glue Liners. I don't like these. I did at first, but no matter what I do, my lashes lift off and I can't stand that. So no, I don't recommend them. I'm keeping them just in case like I need them, because they're good to maybe like keep in your purse or something for like a quick touch up. But as for like the main application, I do not recommend them. This is the Iconic London. It's brow silk. It's like a greasy wax. When it comes to your brows, I do not recommend it. It makes your eyebrow products run all over your face and smear, and it's terrible. But I do like this for flyaways. This works really good. And a brush came with it that looks like a toothbrush, which also like is really good to do your edges and all your little baby hairs. This is the Maybelline Lasting Drama. Once this stuff dries down, it's there. I did a swatching video recently, and I used almost this whole jar on that. But this is really good, and it's very inexpensive. This is my Kiss Lash Strip Adhesive. This is a good eyelash glue, but my favorite is the Duo, specifically the one in the green tube. And this is my NYX Glitter Primer. I absolutely love this. It's almost out. This is probably like my 10th tube, and I already have some in my cart to repurchase. These are the Lethal Cosmetics eyeliner pots. When I first got these, I love them, but these are not even a year old, and they are dried out. I've kept onto them because I paid a lot of money for these, so I don't want to like throw them away, and I'm going to just try to find a mixing medium to see if I can bring them back. This is in the shade Galactic Goo. This is Equalize. I got these two, and I think the Teresa's Dead Set, and this one I bought at the same time. I mean, look how dried out that is. It's dead. So if I can get them to come back, I will, but there's a chance I may have to throw them away, and I will never repurchase them if that is the case. I'll keep you guys updated, though, to let you know if I can bring them back. And then this is the shade Harvested. These are such pretty full shades, the two that came in that collection. This one's not as bad as the other one. It still looks usable, but the other ones are just so crusty, like, and that sucks. And then here I just have my lash curlers. I have 2 of them, and I have 3 pairs of my favorite brow scissors. Now let's move on to lip liners. I have lip liners in here, and I also have a few like skinnier like lip products and stuff like that. Okay, I will show you my favorites. This was my favorite for a long time. As you can tell, it's so tiny. This is the Uma Beauty, and this is the Badass MF. And I don't know if that's the shade name. No, Angelou is the shade name. These are so pretty. This is a really good formula. It's like a mauvey brown. I love this. I still love this. I also like this Persona Cosmetics one. This is in the shade 90210, which is fun. You know. This is more of a creamier one. I do like it, but I like the drier formula. Not to where it's like dry and crusty, but not to where it's that creamy either. My favorite lip pencils that I have, first of all, this NARS. I want to buy more in this formula. This is a beautiful shade, but these suckers don't budge. These are awesome, and I really love them. This is the Precision Lip Liner, and I'll pop the shade up on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but it's a really good lip liner, and I definitely want to try more. But my absolute favorites so far are the ABH lip liners. These are awesome. I have quite a few shades. I will swatch them for you. I have it in the shade Blackberry. These are dry, but they're not too dry. They're just dry enough to where they don't budge. And this is my favorite one. I think this is in the shade Peach Amber. I think I'm missing one because I don't see my shade Sunbaked here. I do believe I'm missing one. Let's see. Did my Oh, yep, this is Sunbaked. It's just a baby. Now, this is one of my favorites. I'll definitely repurchase all of these when they run out. That's my favorite one. I love that orange one too. The orange one was called Peach Amber. Yes, it's beautiful. This is Cool Brown. Cool Brown is what started my whole love for these liners. Laura Lee recommended it, and I purchased Cool Brown, and I loved it, so I started purchasing more. This is Muted Mauve. This is also a really pretty, like, neutral shade. These need sharpened. Like I said, I get a lot of use out of them. That's very similar to the Uma Beauty one as well. I don't know which formula is cheaper. Okay, I also am really loving these Lunar Beauty lip liners. This is the shade Tiaz. It's a very beautiful, like, yellow tone orange, and it's just so stunning, so bright. I have the lipstick shade that matches that as well, and I have the shade Milk Tea. I bought these two shades together. That's a perfect color. And then I have the shade Blushing. This one's new to my collection. I bought the Laura Lee and Manny collection, and I accidentally smushed the lipstick in the cap, so I had to repurchase them. And when I did that, I bought this one, and that's a very pretty pink shade, which I don't have enough of those in my collection. I also I like the unearthly ones. I would rank these next. I have the shade Cafe. These are new, but these have a really good lasting power and the very unique, beautiful colors, especially for fall. Like, I'm so excited to use these. And this is the shade Fiery. There are these two on the end. They're beautiful, and I really can't wait to get more in this formula. And then I'm really loving the Rare Beauty. These are great, and they're really beautiful shades, but they're not as they don't have as much staying power as the ABH ones. So that's why they're ranked a little lower. This is the shade Gifted, very pretty. And then I also have the shade Creative. That sucker was on there. That's a very, very pretty light shade. And then we have Fun. It's so pretty too. Like I said, I like this formula. They just don't stay as well as the others. This one's from Dragon Beauty. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and I like this one as well. This is very similar to the Cool Brown. It's just a little bit more cool toned. Okay, let's see. These little things, this is not a lip liner. This is like a lip crayon. This is the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon. These are awesome because they stain your lips, and like the color is beautiful for one, and they have tons of shades, but the staying power on these are no joke. Like, I highly recommend them. This is just an e.l.f. gloss I got in a BoxyCharm. This is my Clinique Black Honey. And this is so pretty. I probably need to get a white, but just look at the shine on that, and the shade is gorgeous. Next, I have my Glam Lights. I have a few of these as well. I like this formula too. This is the drier one as well, but it has a really good staying power on it, and I do enjoy that about them. This is the Glam Light Frosted Flakes. This came in like the orange lip kit. You can see it's a little drier. I do like that. That's a pretty shade. They don't have shade names on them, but I'm pretty sure you could still buy all of these. This is the blue one that came with the gloss. Beautiful. These are the Michaela ones. They are kind of light, but they work for my skin tone. This is like a rosy mauve. This one's super light. This one's pretty too, though, but it's not really my vibe, if I'm going to be honest. I just keep it because it's in the collection and I have all of them. And then this is the Yellow Barbie lip kit. It's like a kind of like my ABH Cool Brown. It's really pretty dark and rich. And then I showed you the NARS. This one's new to me. I have not used it yet. This is the Beauty Crop Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Date Night. This is very creamy. It's pretty, but I'm unsure if I'll love the formula. It's a beautiful shade, though. This is one I've had for quite a while. This is You're All Mine by Rimmel. I keep it because it's the only shade I have like that. And sometimes a look requires like a pink lip liner. And this is the Wet n Wild Never Pedal Down. These are really nice, especially for the price. These are pretty cheap. This is another BoxyCharm. This is Moonlit number 49 Core. I keep it because it is a rare shade from my collection. And sometimes I do like to wear a red lip. I kind of like this formula though. And then I have these from L'Oreal. This was a pretty good formula for a long time. These are the only lip liners I had, and they got the job done. They don't last as long as my favorites, but they're a pretty good formula, especially for the price. That was the shade Rose, and this is the L'Oreal Color Riche, and then this is the shade Natural. These are really pretty, like natural colored lip liners. And these are the NYX Wine Out Loud. The shade names are so hard to find on these sometimes. This is in the shade Global Citizen. Very creamy. So if you like a creamy but pigmented lip liner, you'll like these. They're just not my favorite. And then I also have it in Stay Stuntin'. I love the shade of this, but if I'm going to pick this color, I'm going to go with the Lunar Beauty all day long. Okay, next we have eyeliners and mascaras. So I also filmed this where I made an inventory folder of all of my like lip liners, eyeliners, highlighters. There was a few things, and I actually filmed it, but the voice was corrupted on it. I didn't have any audio at all, so I ended up trashing the footage. But this is the perfect time for me to show you my little folder. I also did my lipsticks, which is really cool. I just swatched them on paper, and then I put the brand. I try to do it by brand, and then I wrote the shade name. That way when I'm doing a makeup look, instead of like going through my lipsticks and trying to swatch them all to see which one I want to go with the eye look, I can just look in this folder, and I think it was a freaking brilliant idea. So I really love this. And here I got all of my lipsticks. This is so helpful, and it's like takes out so much time. And another good thing is I have it each lipstick container numbered, and then I have it wrote in here too, but I'm getting so much better use out of my lipsticks because I had a lot that I hadn't really got a lot of use out of because I just would forget about them. So that's pretty cool. And then here I have all my liquid lips and then my glosses, which, I mean, you can kind of see what they are, and I just got them wrote out, so I know. And then I have my Color Pops. Here's my Sigma minis, and then my lipstick minis. But here are all my lip liners, which is, I'm just so proud of this, and I hate it so bad that that footage got corrupted. But the only way I could fix it is if I did a voiceover, and it really didn't kind of go with that kind of video, or if I just redid the whole thing, and I was not about to do all that. But the whole reason for this was to show you my eyeliners. I have them out by brand and shades. So if I need a blue, I can just look here and see what shades I have and which one I will prefer. And as you can see, I do have a crap ton of eyeliners. And here, I'll go ahead and move this. But I thought that was cool, and I wanted to at least tell you guys about it because I thought it was a good idea, and someone else might want to do it. But here are my eyeliners. These are all eyeliners, and these are mascaras. As for liquid liner, I really love these Gain Beauty liquid liners. They're my favorite that I've tried so far, and I do have a link in my description box where you can click it and just shop the link and you can get a discount. And it also gives me a little small commission at no cost to you. It just kind of helps my channel out. And I really love the ColourPop ones as well. The Stila has been a favorite for a long time. It's a very fine point, like very fine, beautiful. It doesn't like blur or anything. This is my white one from ColourPop. And you could just see it's so bright. It goes over like any color eyeshadow very easily. Here is my White Gain Beauty. They're very similar. And this is a green one. So pretty. Like, look how vibrant that is. These are great though, and I highly recommend them. This is one of my favorite black eyeliners. This is the Double Take Awake by Tarte. This is like a cream gel liner for the waterline. And it's very pretty, very bright. If you've not tried a white or a nude in your waterline, I highly recommend it. And this is a very, very good teeny tiny felt tip black liner. This is a freaking great eyeliner, and I highly recommend it. It's actually probably my favorite black one in my collection. I also have a few of these eyeliners. These are LA colors. These are okay. They're not bad at all. I have a few of the Neon Shockwaves one too. And this is a Glam Light. It came in the Scooby-Doo Part 1 collection. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I've never used it. It's very black though. I have a feeling it might be good. But I'll have to try to see. I have a few little babies in there. And these are the ColourPop cream gel liners. These are the best freaking, oops, you got to be careful because that shit happens. But some of these are older, but I haven't replaced them yet. But they do break if you put them up too high, so you have to like barely screw it up. But these are so freaking pigmented. They have so many colors. You can buy them in a bundle. You get such a great deal on them. I think they're like $6 a piece. These stay in your waterline, and you will be wiping them out at the end of the night because they don't budge. They're like the best. If you have watery eyes and deal with allergies and stuff, I highly recommend trying those out. Now, for the mascaras. Lately, I've been having issues with mascara flaking under my eyes, and I don't know why that's happening because I never had that problem before. And most of the time, I do have to go for a waterproof because of that, which sucks because it's so freaking hard to get off at the end of the day. But this one is not waterproof, and I really love it. It's called the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. It has a really fluffy brush. It's like voluminous, And it's a very beautiful, it's a 4-in-1 mascara, it says. I don't know what that means, but I really enjoy this and I highly recommend it. This came in a BoxyCharm, and it's the Patrick Ta, and it's the first Patrick Ta product I tried, and I was so freaking excited to have it, and it sucks. Like, it sucks so bad. Like, it goes all underneath my eyes. I do like the brush, and it's very, like, black, but I've been trying to let it dry out a little because it's a very wet formula to see that if I will like it once it dries out some. This is the ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2, and it's a purple mascara. I've actually never used this, and I forgot I even had it in my collection. This is the Scooby-Doo Mascara from Glamlight, and same with this. I have not used it yet. I know, it's a shame. And this is the Lash Paradise. I have it in the waterproof formula. This is by L'Oreal, I believe. Yes, this is a very good mascara. This is very voluminizing, and I love the brush on it, and I don't have any issues with it flaking under my eyes. This is the Bad Gal Bang. This is a lengthening mascara, and this is my favorite mascara for my lower lash line because it's such a small, teeny tiny brush, and it just gets in there perfectly. I can't use this on my top lashes anymore because it flakes even though it's the waterproof, and I think I may need to repurchase it. That might be why it's doing that. This is an eyelash boost serum that I don't use, so I haven't used it like repetitively enough to be able to give a review on it, in all fairness. This is the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. I have it in the shade Jet. And I love this. I love the little applicator, the way it curves out. This is a really good formula, and I don't have any issues with it going under my eyes. This was my birthday gift from Sephora. This is the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes, and I'm kind of waiting for this one to dry out too because the same as the Patrick Ta, it freaking flakes so bad, and it sucks. Like, the two high-end mascaras I have, I hate. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. This is in the waterproof. I love this one as well, but it is a wetter formula, so I'm trying to let it dry out a little bit. I hate this. This is the Milani Highly Rated Anti-Gravity Mascara. I bought this in recommendation from Kelly Strack, and I hate it. Maybe we just like different types of mascara, but this is the worst mascara I feel like I've ever tried, so I'm going to declutter it. Next, we're going into bronzers. Man, this is a longer video than I intended it to be. Okay, cream products. As for those, my favorite cream bronzers that I only own 3, but my favorite is the Soul Body Bronzing Balm. I have it in the shade medium, and there's a lot going out of here. I freaking love this. This blends so well. It is such a beautiful bronzer. I just really enjoy it, and I think I paid like $6 for it, and that's a huge bronzer. Second would be the Rare Beauty Bronzing Stick. I had it in 2 shades. I used one up. I had it in the lightest shade and the medium. This is the lightest shade. This is a wonderful formula. It's so like creamy, blends beautifully, but it dries down, which I appreciate. So does the Soul Body one. This is the LYS bronzer. I really love this too, but if I have to choose between the 3, this one's going to be last. It doesn't blend out as good as the other ones, but it is still a beautiful bronzer, and it dries down as well. This Milani powder bronzer is my favorite in my collection. I've hit pan on it. I have it in the shade Silky Matte. Oh, I have it in the shade 01 Sunlight. It is the Silky Matte bronzer. This is a beautiful bronzer. It just, I don't know, it stays well, it blends well. It's just a very fun formula, and I really love it. I also really love these LYS powder bronzers. I have so much that I bought 2. I have it in the light shade, and I also have it in the medium shade for when I'm self-tan. This is my light shade. That's how much I loved it. I freaking love this bronzer, and it's so beautiful. Highly recommend these. And here is my medium shade. She's had some love too, but nowhere near like the other. This is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I freaking love this. This is so iconic. It smells so good, just like coconut. And oh my God, it's like summer in a bronzer. It's a beautiful formula, very blendable, and I love it. This is my NARS Laguna Matte. I hate this. I hate this with a burning passion. I bought this recently. I've only used it twice, so that's why it's still here. But it is so freaking patchy. I don't know if it's too dark for me. I don't think so, though, because it looks just like my others. But it's so patchy, and it's ugly. I don't like it. I love the packaging, and it sucks that it's like that because I've looked at it for so long and wanted it, and I don't know, I just hate it. And it's like most of the NARS products I've tried so far, I do not like. So, like, it makes it hard for me to want to keep trying other things, but I know, not everything's created equal, so I can't be like that, but it's not my favorite. And outside of that lip liner that I showed you, it's none of the products I own by NARS or something I'm going to reach for. Okay, this is the Fit Me concealer. I use this as a long time for bronzer, or contouring. It's been in my collection for a long time. It was fun to use for like underpainting, but I'm gonna like trash that one. These are the Milani Baked Powder Blush, and this is in the shade 2 Rose. I don't know how to say that, but these are beautiful. These are such pretty blushes, and if you haven't tried them yet, I highly recommend you do. It's the baked formula. This is like so beautiful and luminous. If you like a little shine in your blush, you will absolutely love those. Next up, we have the shade Luminoso. This is a very pretty, like peachy, just beautiful. This is just a great formula. If you have any of those, I'm curious to see what your favorite shades are. This is the Rare Beauty Nearly Apricot. This is the melting blush. If you were considering buying this, don't. It's a pretty formula. Like it blends out well. I love the texture of it. It's kind of like powder, like a cream to powder, but the lasting power on these are a nightmare. Like they're gone in an hour. I hate them. This one I've had for a long time. You could tell it's had some love. It's taped. This is the Physicians Formula Rose Mineral Wear Blush, and it has SPF 30. I love the shade of this, and I got a lot of good use out of it. I probably need to declutter it, but it's one of the oldest products in my collection, and I'm sentimental. This is the Milani Coral Cove Rose Powder Blush. The pan is so pretty. It's like raised, and it was like a really pretty rose. This is a beautiful color, and I really enjoy this formula as well. So I recommend you checking them out. And these are the ColourPop Super Shock blushes. I have it in the shade Georgette and Drop of Hat. And I really enjoy these formulas. If you haven't tried the Super Shock products from ColourPop, you really should. It's so cool. They're kind of like spongy. They're cream, but they dry down. And the lasting power on these is wonderful. This one is a matte, and this one's a shimmery blush. It's so pretty. You can see there in the pan, and the color payoff on these are great, and so is the wear time. Okay, we have more blushes. These Rare Beauty, I don't know what the actual name of these are, but these are her liquid blushes, and I have it in the shade Joy. This will last you a lifetime. You could hand this down to your kids and kids' kids, because let me show you. Okay, you put up just a tiny little dot, and look at that. Like, you have to put the smallest amount. Like, it just goes and goes and goes. I mean, put a speck on there. The sucker, I've had it for a while, and until it smells off, I'm keeping it because the formula of these are incredible. They are worth every single cent. This one's new to me. I got this in my last BoxyCharm. This is the Lucky Chick Lucky Days Lip and Cheek Multi-Stick. This is a very pretty shade. There we go. I haven't tried it on the face yet. It feels kind of sticky though. If it is, I'm going to declutter it because I don't like it when my face feels like a flypaper trap. Okay. This is the Breezy Peach Sunset by Tarte. I love the shade. I like this formula a whole lot. It's very beautiful. It's very creamy. Great formula. I have so much makeup underneath my fingernails. Please overlook that. I have, let's do all the creams first. Oops, stay, honey. I don't even remember what this was. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and when it came, it was busted. But it's like a moussey formula. I have no idea what it is. It's like shiny, but it dries down. I don't want to throw it away because it's really nice, but I also can't use it when I film because I don't know what it is. I should have wrote it on the bottom of it, but in my defense, at the time, I was not filming content yet. This is the MAC Cheer Up Glow Play Blush, and I love this. It reminds me a lot of this Super Shock. It's kind of like putty. It's a really nice formula. It's like luminous, very pretty and glowy. And this is the Morphe 2. I have it in the shade Dream. This is the Wonder Tint Cheek and Lip Mousse. I don't like it, but I think the reason I might not like it is because it's so like light. I hate the packaging because it's so small. You have to like scoop some out to use it. It's like a mousse though. The texture is really cool, but it doesn't last very long. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Cream Blush. I have it in Warm Peach. As you can tell, orange and peach blushes are my favorite. The packaging on these are beautiful. It's another great cream formula that dries down. And I love the shade. It lasts pretty well, and it's a good blush. This is another BoxyCharm item. This is the Shania B, I think, Miami. This is a very glowy blush. This is actually a highlight, but I use it as a blush topper because it's not that highlighty. Well, it is a little, but I like it as a blush topper. It's very pink. This is my Persona Super Blush. Is this a cream too? This one's new to me. No, it's a powder. This is a very pretty, like, mauve shade. Very beautiful. I've used it one time, and I do like the formula so far. This came in an Ipsy bag a long time ago. I don't know how to say that name. It's a free matic blush. I love the shade, which is why I have it. Still, this is a really good, like, crease shade if you're wanting to do, like, a quick eye look. So that's why it's still here. This is my MAC Lovejoy. I love this formula. It reminds me a lot of the Milani blushes, actually. These are very similar. This one's like $30. This one's like $5, maybe 10. That's crazy. Those are similar. Let's see what they look like. Swatched out. Swatch it again. Okay, now, different finger. Let's do the MAC. They're different. MAC's darker. I love them both, though. They look very similar in the pan, but that would be cute for like a blush draping. This is the e.l.f. I still don't have the sticker on the back. I love this formula. This is one that I've had in my collection for a while. In 2021, I lost big chunks of my collection, like my blushes and my base products and some of my palettes during a breakup. And for a long time, this is the only blush I had, and it served me well. So I really like it. It's a very light shade though. So unless you have a very like uncooked chicken skin tone, I don't recommend it. This I got in BoxyCharm, and I love these. These are such pretty, unique shades. This one's luminous. I think this one's more matte. The shades of these are really pretty. They're very pigmented. This is called the Complex Culture Good Good Glow Blush Duo. So they're both kind of glowy. Yeah, I see that. One is spiced up and one is Be Content. Very beautiful formula. Very pigmented. It's a really nice compact as well. It's very heavy and strong. Okay, next I have the Alice in Wonderland Sigma Blush and Highlight Duo. I love this. I love the shade of blush. It's like that mauve rosy tone, and the highlight is really pretty as well. You can see, very pretty. They're very pretty mixed together to make it kind of like a glowy blush, but I also love them for what they are. This is the Glamlight Scooby-Doo Blush Duo. Is the packaging not the best thing? And I love these shades. These are very unique shades in my collection, or they were at least when I purchased this. These are very pigmented and pretty. I love the embossing in the pan, and the shades are just everything. The orange one is my favorite though. We have my Lethal Cosmetics blushes. I got these with the Teresa is Dead collection. I do not know what the shade names are, and I do not have the tool to get these out. I could try. I don't want to mess them up. Okay. This is in the shade Plan 9. It looks like a strip of bacon, which is so freaking cute. This is such a pretty blush. I love this formula. And you got a lot of use out of that. Okay. This one now is a little different. I don't want to do that again because I kind of bent that packaging. This one also came in the Teresa's collection. This blush is so purple, and I've had this since last year, and I just started using it. I was so intimidated by it, but this actually looks freaking beautiful, and I really love that. So if you come across a purple blush and you feel tempted, I suggest you try it because you might be surprised. This is the oldest blush in my collection. This is my Clinique New Clover. This was my favorite blush for so long. It's old. I don't use it anymore, but I can't get rid of it. And I honestly would repurchase this. This is a great blush formula. Okay, this is the Odin's Eye Peach Gleam. And I also have it in the shade Warm Sun. These are very similar, but the difference is one is glowy and one is matte. And one's a little lighter. This is the glowy one, and this is the matte one. Look at the pan embossing in these. That's just so pretty. But I love these. I love these so much. There's that one. It's very orange. And this is a lighter one. Very pretty as well. Also great for a blush draping. My favorite blushes in my collection, hands down, are my Benefit blushes. These, like for powder formulas anyways, these are awesome. They are so pigmented. This is the prettiest, most unique orange blush I own, and I freaking love it. The pigmentation on these, you'll be scrubbing this out of your hairline at the end of the night. That sucker stays. And this is my my favorite mauve tone blush. This is in the shade Willa. And I forgot to tell you, this is Butterfly. So pretty. Such a pretty shade. I love them. And this is my California Mini. I don't think they make these anymore. This is like a glowy, like pretty blush. And this is Georgia. This smells like peaches too. Yes, it has such a pretty smell. But this is a really pretty one as well. They changed the packaging because it used to be in these like deep boxes. And then they made them slimmer, which I'm so glad they did. I use this as a blush topper. It kind of looks like a highlighty blush. But I don't think they sell this one either, to be honest. It's out of stock, but they have tons of these shades and they're gorgeous. This is another one that's been in my collection. It's as old as this one. This is the pH Maker Physicians Formula, and I have it in the shade Rose. I don't even think they make these anymore. I even still have the little brush down here. But this sucker is very pretty and pigmented as well. Very bright pink. Here's a finished look at my blush and bronzer drawer. It's getting kind of full. Okay, these are my face palettes that do not fit in my drawers, and I keep them right here on display. First, this is the NARS Holiday Cheek Palette. It is Rising Star, and this isn't sold on the NARS website anymore, I don't think, but my TJ Maxx has had a ton of these in stock forever, and I should have took that as a sign. The shades in these are so pretty, so glowy, but they're very pigmented and they're very hard to blend some of them out. They're pretty, but they're not my favorite because, like I said, they are a little patchy on the face. That's a new palette to me, though. Because, like I said, I bought it at TJ Maxx. I'm not sure which year this one came out. I know they come with out with them every holiday, and it doesn't say on it. So I don't know if maybe I just got an old palette or what. This is the Amazonian Clay Cheek Palette, and I don't, who does the Amazonian Clay? Tarte? Yes. This is a really pretty palette. We got a few blushes, and this is kind of like, this is rare. That's kind of like a bronzer. You can see, but it's kind of glowy. It's a bronzer, but it's not. And then we have these ones. I bought this last holiday, and I've really enjoyed this one. It's got some really pretty shades, but if I had to choose between the Tarte formula and the Benefit, I'm going with the Benefit. Then we have, this is a new one. This is the Full Fantasy Blush, and it was a collaboration with Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee. I love this palette. It is a very unique color story. These highlighters are beautiful. It's a really good blush topper for me, but I can still get away with it as a highlighter as well. And I love the blush shades they picked. This one is a viral shade right now. Everybody's doing the pink, the Barbie. To be honest, I'm kind of tired of it, but I never was a Barbie girl to begin with, so I liked my baby dolls, and I never really got into Barbie, although I did have a lot of them growing up. My grandma and aunt really loved Barbie, so they bought me a lot of them. And there they are. Really beautiful shades. I love this palette so much. Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee both have really great blush formulas. Go ahead and put these back up here. Okay, this is my Laura Lee blush aesthetic. This is a beautiful palette too. Like, look at those blushes. I love the orange in this. This is a great pigmented formula. They blend very well. I'm running out of swatch room. These will do on the inside of my arm. Messed it up a little bit. There we go. Sure I'm doing the right finger for the right shade. Very pretty, very pigmented, and very blendable. This highlighter is pretty as well. It's Golden Haze. I really want to get her glazed highlighting palettes because I've heard those are beautiful. That is the Laura Lee blush aesthetic. Next, we have the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette. These are beautiful. This one is like a very glittery shade. I love it. It's so fun. But then we have this powder blush and a powder highlight. That's kind of a powder too, but it's also a putty. These swatches suck. I'm sorry, guys. But you could see there. I love the highlights, but at the same time, it's not my favorite highlighting formula. I haven't tried anything else from her, but I do love them. I've not used this. This is a purple highlighter, but now that I'm into that purple blush, that's really pretty. So shiny. I really want to try it so you can really get it. And this is the cream blush. Very creamy. They dried down as well. That's very pigmented. I haven't used this in a while, and I kind of now I want to dig into it. And that is the cream highlighter, which is the only cream highlighter I think I have in my collection. I really want to find one that I like. If you guys have any recommendations, I really would appreciate it. This is a very dirty palette. This is my Ofra On the Glow palette. I love this. It's great for traveling. It really has everything in it. These pans come out. I love the highlighters. I've got a lot of use out of this bronzer. I'm not going to swatch this because really you could swatch this whole day because there's different sections in each thing. So you can use it as one or you can do it individually. And I really like this palette. It's a good one to have. This is going to be it for this video. These are my highlighters. I have the Hocus Pocus 2, Find the Book. I recently did a short swatching these, and if I can remember, I will link it up here in the card. It's a very pretty glittery highlight. And then we have my Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette. I think this is on sale right now for 40% off. These are my colored highlighters. They're very pretty. They're very chunky though, so you have to be aware of that. They're very glittery, but if you're someone who is really into colorful looks, these are really pretty. They really enhance a makeup look a lot, I feel like, and these are really great, like iridescent topper shades for an eye look as well. These are very like, they're chunky, but they're smooth. I know that makes no sense. Very glowy, like in your face. You can really see them there. They're beautiful. I really enjoy this palette a lot. And then we have my Glamlight Scooby-Doo highlighter. This came in the first Glamlight collection. There's like a green and then, or is it a purple and then a green blue? Yeah, this one's purple pink. This one's green blue. These are really pretty too. And actually they're kind of similar to that Blend Bunny palette. What do you guys think? I love this one. This is the Frosted Flakes Kellogg's collab that Glamlight did. And look at the top of that. It really looks like a freaking bowl of cereal. These look like actual cornflakes, but inside, they really killed it with this highlight formula. Very beautiful and glowy, and it looks beautiful on the face. Then we have the Michaela Part 2. I like these two, but I do not like this one. This isn't my favorite highlighting formula that Glamlight's done, but it's pretty. It's not one I'm probably going to use for the face. It's going to be more like an inner corner thing. This one's new to me. This is my Resurgence Heather Austin and an Unearthly Highlighter Duo. These are stunning. This is a beautiful blush topper. I've gotten a lot of use out of this already, even though it's really new to my collection. I think Heather did a great job picking out these shades too. This is another one of those complex culture palettes. This one's broken and I have pressed it back into place, but these are really pretty highlighters as well. They're more natural, leaning on the natural side of things, and I love them. If you ever see these in BoxyCharm, you should totally pick them up because they're beautiful. I'm going to have glitter all over me. This is my favorite highlighter in my collection. This is the Rare Beauty Mesmerize. It's the powder highlight. It is so freaking like soft and it feels like silk, literal silk. And I love the way it looks on the skin. It's got like that pink tone to it and it's so like smooth but blinding at the same time. This is my Beetlejuice Revolution Handbook from the recently deceased. I bought this because my girlfriend and I had this notebook and we used to write each other notes in it and it was so cute. So when I seen this, that's why I bought it. But to be honest, I don't think I've ever actually used it. But these are really pretty highlights, so the joke's on me because those are very smooth as well. These came with the Teresa's Dead collection. These are the highlights. I have the white. That was broke when I got it and I pressed it back. That's a really pretty highlight. And then we have the green one. I'm really into these colored highlighters. That one's pretty as well. And then we have the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats. This is another cream highlighter. I forgot about this one. And it feels so like it's squishy, kind of like the Super Shocks, which are also cream highlights. I forgot about those too. That's a very wet looking highlighter, but it does have a lot of like glitter particles in it. Okay, these are Glam Light as well. They came in that wine collection. I love the palettes in that too, but these highlights are beautiful. This is the Pina Colada. Pina Colada. Very pretty. I haven't used these ones in a while. I get more use out of the Mimosa because it's the only orange highlighter I have in my collection. It's kind of like an orange yellow, but it's really pretty. I love it as well. These are still available too. Most of these are actually. This is the oldest highlighter in my collection. This is the Bare Minerals Ready Light, the Shining Moment. I've not used it in years. Like, look how old and crusty it is. But I keep it because it's the oldest in my collection. This is very pretty. It's smooth. But compared to the highlighters now, it ain't shit, you know? This is my Game Beauty highlighter in Elemental Pearl. This is a very pretty one as well. Very smooth, but shiny. Very pretty. They have a bunch of different shades in this. If you want a highlighter at a very cheap price that's blinding, you cannot go wrong with these Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter powders. This is in the golden shade. I had all of them, but I've given them away. Very beautiful. Very like in your face. This is another one of my favorite highlighters in my collection. This is the Glam Light Sugar High. This just goes good with everything. And it's like so fine. Let me see if I can get some out without actually opening it. Nope. To do me like that. That's one thing. It's messy. But it is beautiful. So it's totally worth the mess. I don't know if you guys can even, yeah, you can see it. It's light, but it's so impactful on the face. Way more than you like can see in a swatch, if that makes sense. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Glazed Donut Ofra and Nikki Tutorials highlighter, and you can tell she's had some love. This was my only highlighter for a long time. My only like new highlighter because I had this one, but you know how it is. We all want the new. But this one is beautiful as well. The light is starting to come through the window in the worst way. Okay, we have these two cream ones. These are ColourPop Super Shock highlighters. That was not closed all the way, which sucks. This is Lunch Money, and then we have Felicity. Lunch Money is it's a putty, but it's really smooth. And I just can't even explain how perfect it is. It's more pink as well. Dang, I got that one on there tight. And putty formula, but as you can see, it's very creamy. And then we have this Scene from Space Cosmetics. It's in the shade 1A. This is another BoxyCharm. It's pretty, but it's nothing to like write home about. That is it. That is all my products except for my single shadows, which you've already seen, my Super Shocks, which you will see soon, and my lip products, and my palettes. I'm going to do those in 2 separate more videos, and I can't wait to show you guys the rest of my collection. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe. If this is your first time here, I really appreciate you guys watching it all the way to the end. And until next time, bye.